Hello guys, welcome everybody at today's webinar. My name is Monica. I work at Brand24 as Customer Success Manager, and at today's webinar I will guide you through our platform step by step. As you know, as you received in your email invitation, today meeting will look like we will create a project together. Then I will tell you how to interpret the results. And then I will show you how you can take advantage of Brand24 features to benefit your business. Short story about Brand24. We are a social media and internet monitoring tool. We are on the market for 10 years and we are working with currently around about 4,000 actively paying customers from all around the world. And now I would say that most of our clients use Brand24 software to monitor their brand reputation, but we also work with a number of brands that do use Brand24 to monitor competitors, measure campaigns, find influencers, or find new business leads. So there are actually many ways how you can take advantage of Brand24. I will be telling about everything during my walkthrough, and I hope that you will like it. We have a live chat at this webinar, so if you will have any questions about what I will be presenting or social media monitoring in general, feel free to use the live chat and I will try to read your questions and answer them in real time. Okay, so I guess that this is it. I hope that you can hear me and I hope that you can see me. I will start sharing my screen right now with you. Also, like a quick information that everything is okay would be nice. All right, so this is our website. As you can see, you can test Brand24. As you know, you can test Brand24 completely for free for 14 days. I know that lots of you are currently on that free trial. If you don't have an account with us yet and you just came to check out the tool, if it's fitting your business and so on, then I also recommend you to start with the free trial because it's really for free, so you don't need to provide your credit card details and so on, and it will just expire after those 2 weeks and you can get some insights for your research. Okay, so I will move to my dashboard, and this is how it looks like. You can see the list of all the projects I have created so far here and here. You can see the information, how many new mentions appeared from the last time I checked the project, the time it was created. I mean, some of them are really old. The possibility to edit and delete the projects. And at today's, so there are many different brands I'm tracking, or hashtags, or topics, and so lots of projects I have. At today's webinar, I would like to create one with you, and to do it, I will click here, but you can also click there. And this is how the creator for a new project. If you will want to monitor with us not a simple brand that has a very unique name, like for example Burger King, then it's super easy because you have to provide the brand name written together separately and maybe also the hashtag and the social handle. But if your brand name is slightly more difficult, for example, I was talking with a company called Just Eat, like the food delivery service, some time ago. And imagine if we would put Just Eat as the keyword, we would literally pull out every content from social media, from articles where the phrase Just Eat appears. So to make it easier for them to monitor their brand reputation, we proposed required keyword like food delivery service, food app, and so on and so on. And we used that section from required keywords right over here. So if your brand name is not super unique and you are getting irrelevant results, you can take advantage of those of this section. Also, if you want to make a research about a topic and you would like to narrow down the results somehow, let's say that you want to, I don't know, focus on fashion but limited to London, you can do it like that. in general, if you will have any questions about how to create the right project, you won't be happy with the results that you get, you can always reach out to our team on the live chat, and we will be more than happy to have a look at your project, give you some suggestions, so you can collect the most relevant results for your research. Okay, at today's webinar, I would like to create a project that is monitoring Wizard. So this is how I would do it. This is the name of the project. My main keywords would be Wizard, written together and written separately. And I also will add the website. And that's it. 3 keywords are enough. I could also add Wizard hashtag or Wizard social handle, but because they are completely the same as this, it doesn't really make sense because Brand24 will pull it out anyway. Yeah, I can choose from the languages that are listed here. I want to focus in collecting data in English. I'm clicking save, and that's almost it. Almost, because let me go back to the settings again. If you are interested in monitoring Facebook and Instagram with us, the tool will ask you to integrate your social media accounts, Facebook and Instagram, with Brand24. It's required by Facebook to do it in order to get the data. Once you do it, you will be able you will see basically what you can see right now, and then you just need to activate Instagram monitoring. It means that if any of those keywords will be mentioned on Instagram public content, only posts basically, then we will collect it. Brand24 doesn't specialize in providing mentions of stories or reels, simply because Instagram API doesn't allow us to do it. But all the posts that will contain your keyword and the post description, and they will be public, so created by public profile, not private one, we will collect it for you. So that's with Instagram. With Facebook, it's slightly different because with Facebook you can monitor fan pages only. So you can't really monitor all Facebook and get the posts, where your keyword was mentioned, but you can actually monitor fan pages. And in this project, I would like to monitor Wizard Facebook page. So I am basically trying to find it on Facebook. I found it, and what I do, I basically click on the link to their Facebook page, I copy it, and I paste it right over here. I'm turning off keyword filtering because keyword filtering means that only if those keywords would be mentioned in the posts on Facebook, we will collect it. I want to pick up everything that Wizard creates on Facebook, so I am turning it off. I also would like to collect comments that people leave under their posts, like those kind of information. So I am taking comments, and we will collect them for you. So yeah, if you would like to, regarding the project setup, make sure that you include all the keywords that are needed. Make sure that you integrate with Facebook and Instagram to get the data from those sources, and you need to attach manually Facebook pages that you would like to monitor with us. Of course, you can add more than one fan page. So if there are some brands that you think that they might mention you, of course you can add them here. Then I just recommend you to turn on keyword filtering. And that's basically it. Regarding the project setup, we have a question from Peter. Is there a cap to the number of keywords? Yes, there is, depending on the plan that you want to use with Brand24. So on the free trial, the number of keywords that you can use is 10 keywords. And later, if you will decide to stay with Brand24, I actually wanted to show you the pricing at the end of the webinar, but let me show it to you now. If your trial will finish and you will decide to stay with us, we have 4 different plans, and they all have different number of keywords. We also can prepare a custom offer for you. So if you need, I don't know, 50 keywords, or you need only one keyword, let us know and we will create a custom offer. I hope that this is answering your question, Peter. All right, so that's basically it when it comes to the project setup, all the most important things that you should know. And after adding Facebook and Instagram, you just need to click save again, and Brand24 starts collecting data for you. It means that now our software is basically searching the whole internet in order to find mentions, so articles, social media posts, comments, reviews that may contain the words that you've put as the keywords. And for Wizard, since they are a very popular brand and airline company, there is lots of content, and you can see that we were already able to provide almost 8,000 mentions for last 30 days. Last 30 days is maximum of the historical data that we can provide you with in the moment of project creation. But if you will keep on using the tool, everything that you've collected will stay in your dashboard, and you will be able to go back to this data whenever you want using this time filter. Mentions dashboard is the spot where we basically keep all the raw collected data. And you can see that first thing that you actually will be able to spot is the graph that is representing the number of collected mentions and the social media and non-social media reach. And you can easily see spikes when there was an increase in the reach or increase in the number of mentions. You can click on the day that is interesting for you, and we will show you the mentions that come from that particular day. We also offer sentiment analysis, and if you click here, you will be actually able to see how the sentiment changes throughout the time. So with airline companies, there's always, in my opinion, there's always lots of negative conversations about canceled flights, refunds, and so on and so on. That's why you can see that there is the red line for negative mentions is pretty high here. I hope it will be different with your brand, but again, Brand24 can help you detect those spikes when there was a PR crisis at your competitor, or where there was something negative happening around your business, about your product, and so on. With Brand24, you will be able to spot it quickly. So that's it about those two graphs. When you scroll down, you can see that we group dimensions for you. And you can see that we put dimensions in categories like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, news, videos, where you will be able to find content from YouTube and TikTok, podcasts, forums, blogs, and web, which is basically everything else. Okay, sorry guys for the break. I thought that my colleague is going to die, but everything is okay. We can continue. Blogs and web category. In web category, you will find reviews and also everything else that didn't match any of those categories. Now, when you scroll down, you can see that we provide all the data, all the mentions that we've collected in a historical order. It means the newest mentions that our tool was picking up will be listed first. And you always, when you look at the mentions, you always can see the time it was picked up by our software, the source it comes from, the sentiment that you can actually change manually, the number of likes, shares, and comments it got in case it's social media. You can click visit, and if you click visit, you will be redirected to the particular content, like we fetched here. It's Facebook comment. And now I will make a stop because we have a question from Tokyo. How would the system filter the negative positive mention if we are using another language besides English? So basically, our software is trained to recognize the sentiment for over 90 languages. And if you set up your project, let's say in English, of course, it will focus on English mentions, but sometimes, for example, in this project, we can see it super clearly. There is a comment that is not in English language, and our software was still able to recognize that it's negative, and it's because it is trained to recognize the sentiment in different languages. So that's basically my answer. I hope that it helps. Okay, coming back to the option you can see under each mention. The first one is visit, which allows you to see the created content. Then you can see the option tags. Basically, we allow you to create any tags you want. Let's say that you would like to keep your data organized. Let's say that you want to divide it into PR, press releases, employer branding content, angry customers reviews, happy customers with you reviews, influencer content. You will be able to do it easily with those tags. You can name them however you like, and you can tag your mentions. If you create any tag, the tags will be listed and on the right sidebar menu, and you will be able to filter the data by tags. Another option allows you to delete the content. Actually, I want to see you because for some of the sources, like for example, Twitter, you can block the author. It means that even if this person will be now talking about your keyword, we won't be collecting this data from Brand24 for your Brand24 dashboard. You can find it useful if you find that there are some accounts that, for example, I don't know, are completely irrelevant to your brand and you wish not to collect content from this, or there are brands that have similar brand name like you and the content is getting mixed up, you can totally block it. Another option allows you to add the content to PDF report. PDF report is very cool feature of Brand24. It allows you to export the data in a very nice and informative way. But by default, in this PDF report, you only get the most popular and the most recent mentions. So if you like some mentions and you would like them to be included, let's say that you would like to create a report for press releases, you can use that option manually, add to PDF report, and then those mentions will be listed on the last page of that report. I will be showing it to you in next steps of Brand24, so no worries. Okay, so you already know what kind of data we provide you with and how to read particular mentions. Now I would like to tell you a little bit about the filtering option, about how you can narrow down the results to those that are actually interesting for you. If your company doesn't have too much mentions, it's easier for you because you don't need to spend more time on analyzing the data and so on. If you are working for a big brand, or if you want to monitor big brands for us and you would like to analyze all this content by yourself, this 8,000 mentions, it would definitely take lots of your time. That's why we created at Brand24 a bunch of filters that can help you get the data that is interesting for you. And those filters that I will be showing to you, they will apply in different section of Brand24 that is called analysis. It's pretty cool because over there you can find insights and numbers and so on. So all those features you will be able to apply also here. Okay, so I would like to start with the first one that is called search and mentions. And this can be super helpful if you are looking for content that may contain some words or phrases that your audience actually can use. let's say in this project that we have at this webinar, Wizard, I know, like I mentioned already before, that lots of people is talking about canceled flights, refunds, and so on. And usually they are very angry customers, because who wouldn't be? And let's say I am working in the customer service support and I want to engage with those clients to calm them down, offer a solution, and so on. And I want to find those mentions quickly. What can I do? I can use that option, search mentions, and I can type here the word refund. And now when I click search, all the conversations that contain the word refund, they will be listed here. Now, I would like to find the most popular mentions first, because I want to engage with those social media accounts that potentially have the biggest impact on your brand. So I am using the option popular first, and I can see those mentions listed in popularity. So the more popular mention, the higher it will end up. And now you can even narrow down your results only to particular category. Let's say that you are responsible for Twitter. You can click here and we will show you all the conversations that contain refund that are on Twitter, and they are listed by the popularity. Okay, question from Ludiro. Any limit on the trial version for collating data from Twitter? It's a very good question, because yes, indeed, there is a limitation on your free trial. So for Twitter, you can collect maximum 100 tweets per day on your free trial. And even if there is more content, we actually will provide you only with 100 mentions. And the reason for that is because we have lots of clients that are testing Brand24, and of course we pay our data providers. That's why we have to limit it. So if you see only 100 tweets per day, and you know that there is more data on Twitter, actually, don't worry, because if you decide to upgrade, you will get the access to full data. I hope that this is answering your question, Ludira. You can also email me at monica@brand24. I actually will type you my email, and I can actually check for you how many mentions you will be able to get if you decide to upgrade. I can check it on my account. Question from Ratna. Any limit for Instagram? I'm not able to track real mentions and stories. Yeah, so like I said in the beginning, like not in the beginning, but when I was telling about Facebook and Instagram integration, unfortunately, we are using Facebook and Instagram API to provide you with the data, and we have to stick to their privacy policy as well. And Instagram API doesn't allow us to monitor reels and stories. We basically are only able to fetch posts, so those pictures or videos that people add to Instagram, and your keywords needs to be listed in the post description. So if your influencer is mentioning your product in the comment section, then unfortunately you won't be able to pick it up with Brand24. I'm sorry about that. I hope that you will still be able to find value with our content. Lots of questions. One more question from Henry. Can we narrow our mentions sentiments to the region? Yeah, you are able to do it, but again, because of internet users' privacy, there are some kind of limitations. Actually, that's one of the filters that I actually wanted to show you next. So let me go back to my presentation. I already showed you how you can filter by text. Now I will tell you about the rest of the filters that you can find here. And one of these filters is called filter by country. And here you can actually find all the countries that are in the world listed, and you can try to narrow down your results to that country. And yeah, it works if people will be, for example, people on Twitter, they will be adding the location manually. You will be able to monitor with us. But it's only limited to countries, so you can't limit it to regions or states and so on. So you will find this filter here. And also there is a different limitation. So we only can provide you with this data if the internet's user is sharing their geolocation free willingly and openly. So Twitter is that case, because lots of people is creating content on Twitter and attaching the location manually, and this is basically the only case where you will be able to find it. Is this filter available for the free trial? Actually, it's not, because of the Twitter limitation, but I can make an exception and turn it on your account. Please just mail me at monica@brand24.com, and I will turn it on for you on your trial, so you can see how it will be working for your research. But like I said, it's limited to the countries, and only if it works basically only for Twitter users if they attach the location manually. If you would like to narrow down your results to particular country, different option that I would recommend is to use another filter that is called filter by domain. You can actually type here the ending that is particular for that is typical for particular countries. So for example, for United Kingdom, I would do it like this. So .co.uk, and if I would click search, I can see all the content that comes from websites that have such finishing of the website, and I know that it comes from UK. So there is like a kind of way to go around it, and that's what I would recommend. And yeah, because of that question, I showed you another filter. And it allows you to browse the data by domain. You can use it if you would like to narrow down your results for to content that comes from particular countries, but you can type here any website that you want. For example, Vogue, if you monitor with us your fashion brand and you want to find out quickly if you will be featured on that famous fashion magazine, you can click filter. If you want to be mentioned, you can still set up additional email alert. So in case you will be mentioned, we will send you an email notification about it. So that's basically how you can use the filter by domain option. And you can, of course, set additional email alert for anything you want. So notifications from Facebook, Instagram, basically whatever you want, you can set additional email alerts right over here. Another filters that you can see is the sentiment. Like the first one actually I wanted to talk about is the sentiment filter. It allows you to see negative or positive mentions super quickly. Actually, I recommend you, because we know from the research that people Google reviews before purchasing product and so on, and it will always be like that you have that people will leave negative reviews and so on. But if you as a company react with those clients quickly, you will show your human face and you will offer a solution. People will tend to spend more money with you, or they will trust you as a brand. I mean, there is a research that confirms that. That's why I am talking about it. So if you're using Brand24 to monitor your brand, I recommend you to set additional email alert for negative mentions of your brand, so you can be notified in real time by email or Slack if you integrate with Slack, or by the mobile app if you download Brand24 mobile app. And you can find out quickly about it, not only when checking Brand24 desktop version manually. So yeah, this is the sentiment filter. Another filter that we actually created for very big brands or for clients that want to make a research about very broad topic is called filter by importance. If you click here, you will be able to see the most popular, the most influential content about your keywords. And if you narrow, if you go here with the mouse, you will be able to see here why our software thinks that those mentions are crucial for your brand. Okay, so another filter is called influencer score. We actually created such metric for those clients that want to find business ambassadors or want to measure cooperation with influencers. And it's our own metric. It's calculated from 0 to 10. And yeah, the higher the influencer score, the more influential the source is, and you can narrow down the results to, I don't know, content created by sources that have influencer score 9 or higher, right over here. And I guess that would be it from the filters, because we already discussed the filter by country option. Two more filters, filter by interactions. If, for example, you monitor your hashtag campaign with us and you want to engage with the content that has, let's say, 1,000 likes or more, you can click here on 1,000 likes, click share, and we will narrow down the content for you. Another option, filter by number of visits. If you are interested in seeing the content that comes from websites that have, I don't know, 1,000 visits per month or more, you will be able to do it here. And last filter by public profile. You can use it for YouTube and Twitter. If you are working with some YouTubers or with some influencers that are active on Twitter, you can actually type here their social handle and we will narrow down the results to the content they created. It can be super helpful if you would actually like to measure the reach of the content. Okay, so that's basically it when it comes to the mentions dashboard. This is the place where you can see the raw collected data. You can see two graphs that represent the number of mentions, the reach of them, the sentiment, and here you can set up additional alerts. You can use different filters and so on. I would say that you can use that space to find out what people are talking about you and to create crucial filters or alerts for your monitoring project. And we have a question from Litya. I hope I am spelling your name correctly. Why number of mentions, for example, Instagram on chart versus tick box appear different? I'm not sure if I understand it, but it says that we have 40 Instagram mentions, and I guess that this is 40. I'm not sure what a tick box is. Let me discuss it with my colleague. She's better in Instagram than me. Sorry, guys, for this. I didn't have my coffee yet. I am sure that you mentioned the difference between this and this chart. I think it's completely the same, because you can see that the blue line represents the number of mentions, and we can see that it's 27, plus 1 is 28, 29. Then we have 30, 31, 32, 34, and another 3 mentions here. Yeah, I guess, I mean, maybe I for sure did something wrong with my calculation, but I believe that this information here is exactly the same, like it's here. Let me double check it. So it says 3, 2, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, I am missing one mention maybe. No, this is the last one. So it's completely, yeah, I calculated it and it's completely correct. So here is 40 mentions and also here is 40 mentions. I hope that this is what you meant. Otherwise, this question is too complicated for me. I can see you're typing. I hope that this was answering your question. Yeah, so exactly. So the number on here, it's accumulated. So it's 40 mentions in the last 30 days in total. And on the chart, you can see exactly in which days those mentions were appearing. That's why, for example, this could be confusing that there's only 27 mentions. But if you add all those mentions from last 30 days, it will be 40. Okay, so I guess that this is it, that we have the answer to the question. I hope. I can see you're typing. Okay, good. Thanks so much. And yeah, I will have my coffee after this webinar. So sorry, guys. Okay, so now let's move to the analysis part. I mean, it's almost 40 minutes of this webinar, so I will promise you that I will try to be super quick and informative about this one. Analysis section, this is the place where we can provide you with metrics behind your content and insights behind your content. And like I was explaining you all the filters in the mentions dashboard, you can use them exactly here. So you can filter by text, you can filter by sentiment, influencer score, group, domain, you can filter by anything. You will be able to do it right over here. Is the webinar recorded and will it be shared to the participant? Yes, you will get an email with the recording of the webinar, so you can come back to it whenever you want. Also, you will get discount for participating in the webinar. So yeah, it will be sent to you. So no worries. If you have to go now, don't worry, because everything will be sent to you, Lydia. All right. In the analysis section, you can see key metrics, and those metrics are the total number of mentions, how much of them come from social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and so on. Non-social mentions, so news, reviews, and so on and so on. You can see estimated social media reach, our own metrics similar to impressions, that actually tells you the estimated number of people that came across the content with your keyword across social media, and super similar statistic, but for content that is outside of social media, so non-social reach. You can also see social media interactions under the content. It can be super helpful feature for you if you, for example, are monitoring a hashtag campaign and you are looking for the key statistics. You will be able to get them here. You can see how much of the content is user-generated content, actually how much of the interactions are likes, how much of the content is video content from YouTube and TikTok, positive and negative mentions. So again, the sentiment analysis, and advertising value equivalent for collected content that actually can tell you how much money the buzz is worth that you generated. Hey, David, no problem for joining late. It's been already like half an hour, but don't worry, you will get the recording of the whole webinar, so you can catch up. You can catch up on the introduction later when you have a moment. And these are basically the metrics that you will be able to find here. And like I said, if you would like to focus only on one category, let's say you want to measure your brand presence on Twitter, you can do it by basically clicking Twitter and the numbers will change. If you created any tags or any filters on your own, you can click on it and we will change the numbers for you. Also, you can type here the social handle of the influencer you work with, if it's Twitter or YouTube, and we will be able to tell you what is the estimated social media reach of the content they generated, and that actually will help you to to estimate the size of the content they create and if this cooperation is useful for you or not. Okay, going down with the analysis section, you can see the most popular mentions and mentions from the most popular public profiles. So if some celebrity or super known news website will mention your product, you will be able to find it here. If some influencer creates a content about your product and it will went viral, you will be able to spot it here. Those sections are 100 mentions long. Another thing that you will be able to spot with Brand24 is a metric that is called presence score. Presence score actually is comparing this project with thousands of different projects that are existing at Brand24. So by itself, maybe this number doesn't tell you too much, but if you create a project that is monitoring your direct competitor, you will be able to see who is actually more popular across online mentions, and this is changing on the daily basis. Another thing you will be able to spot are how mentions are divided by categories. So which online spaces are popular for people to talk about your product, your brand, your competitor, whatever you track with us. You can find it helpful if you are looking for online spaces where, for example, you could advertise yourself. I mean, here we can see that definitely lots of people is super active on Twitter. So maybe for Wizard, it will be wise if they have some budget left for marketing campaigns to create a campaign on Twitter. Another section, trending hashtags. You can find here hashtags that people use in their content when they talk about your brand. You can actually click on any topic that is interesting for you. For example, Airbus, and you will be redirected to the mentions dashboard, and all the conversations that contain the hashtag that you are interested in seeing, they will be listed here so you can analyze it more in more detail. Another section that you can find are trending links. And trending links, it's actually pretty interesting because these are the links that people share when they talk about your keyword. So if someone will be, I don't know, talking something on Twitter about your brand and will link article, I don't know, to Newsweek because you've just been mentioned there, you will be able to see it here with the information how many times those link was actually shared. So again, insights, what kind of content people share when they talk about you. Another section, list of profiles that are talking about you and list of websites we found the content with your keywords. It's actually snippet of another section that is called sources, but it's already like so much information. So you can check it out on the free trial, but just telling you that you can actually see the name of the account that was using your keyword, the number of followers they have, and the number of times they mentioned your keyword in the last 30 days. So you can see that Wizard on Twitter mentioned Wizard 242 times, and they have 47,000 followers on Twitter. And you can find that section useful if you are looking for some brand ambassadors. We can, for example, see that this account mentioned Twitter 43 times in last 30 days. I mean, maybe they don't have too much followers, it's only 9, but definitely they are someone who is really, really engaged with the company. I mean, this is just like what I am seeing right for Wizard, but maybe it will be completely different for your project, and maybe you can really find some great accounts, great people that already use your product that you didn't know about, and you can just basically reach out to them. Similar with the list of the websites. Here you can also see in the analysis section the list of active countries where we were able to find the content with your keyword. And the last part is context of discussion. So the bigger the word, the more often it was used in collected data. And we can see that the word refund was used a lot in the conversations. You can click on any topic that is actually interesting for you, for example, canceled. And again, you will be redirected to the mentions dashboard, and all of the conversations that contain this word, they will be listed here. So that's basically, in a very big shortcut, what you can find in our analysis section. For me, it's the coolest part of Brand24, because here you can actually see insights behind the collected content. You can actually take the content and measure it with metrics that are super important for marketing people, like advertising value equivalent, interactions, and so on. You can actually see it here. You can find online spaces, trending hashtags, trending keywords for your content. So it's really lots of knowledge, and you can take those knowledge and put it in your basically marketing strategy, because you know where to advertise, what kind of people talk about you, which countries are popular, and so on. So that's basically it when it comes to the analysis section. Last feature that I would like to share with you, I was actually mentioning it in the very beginning, is our PDF report. PDF report can save your time if you need to export the statistics and share it quickly with your boss, with your client, with your team. You can decide what kind of content is supposed to be there. You can actually custom it with your own logo because it's white labeled. You can add some description, change colors to, for example, pink if you want to, or to different colors that your company uses in the logo. And here you can see dimensions that I added manually to the PDF report. You can still decide what kind of content is supposed to be there. You click generate report, and it doesn't really take long. With this project, we have more than 8,000 mentions, so it can take a minute, but it's really not a long time, and there is no limit on the PDF reports you can create within Brand24. This feature is available in the free trial, so you can definitely check it out when you will be testing us. And this is how it will look like. So this is the first page. If I would add the logo, it would be somewhere over here. The graphs representing number of the data, size of the data, and the metrics from analysis section. So the numbers behind collected content, most popular and most recent mentions. And like I said, those are actually clickable. So if you will be sharing it with your client who don't want to use Brand24 or doesn't have the access to it, they can still have a look at the most popular mentions. List of social media accounts and websites with the content, trending hashtag, active countries, and the last page with the mentions that I actually added manually to the report. So that's actually it when it comes to Brand24. I showed you my pricing. I showed you our pricing in the beginning of the meeting, but let me show you this again. If you will decide to stay with us, these are our monthly fees. We offer discount if you decide to upgrade for a year. Our plans are different because of the number of keywords and the mentions limitations and different features. What you can see in the free trial and what you could also see in what I was presenting to you, everything is in the pro plan. So that basically contains it all. If you have like some questions about which plan is good to you, you can always reach out to us on the chat, on the live chat here, or you can mail me at monica@brand24.com, and I will be super happy to help you choose the right project for you. Okay, guys, so that's it from my side.